Alright, hello everyone. And today on this online sessions, we're gonna study unit number 7, worth a visit. And after the lesson, you can describe tourist attraction. Right. So now let's review some vocabulary that you have learned from this unit, okay? First, let's talk about natural attractions. Look at this picture. You all know this place, right? It is very famous in Vietnam. It is Hạ Long Bay. So, bay is a part of the sea or a large lake partly surrounded by the wide curve of the land. So this explanation might be a little bit tricky for you. So if you want to say bay in Vietnamese, we're gonna call it Vịnh. So here is an example for you. We live in an apartment overlooking Hạ Long Bay. Look at the picture, so beautiful. Secondly, look at these animals, so cute. So this is a place in Vietnam where rare animals or plants are kept. It is Cúc Phương National Park. So we have National Park. It is an area of land that is protected by the government for people to visit because of its natural beauty and historical or scientific interest. To say this in Vietnamese, we have Vườn Quốc gia. And here is an example for you. The trip to Cúc Phương National Park was so memorable. Next picture. Look at this. This is in everyone's memory, right? Thảo Cầm Viên. So everyone know that Thảo Cầm Viên is a zoo, but do you know that it's also a place that keeps a lot of plants? This can also be called a botanical garden. So botanical garden. It is a park where plant, tree, and flower are grown for scientific study. And we have an example. I still remember the time my parents took me to Thảo Cầm Viên Botanical Garden. So here is a question to check your understanding. So tell me, which of these natural attractions receive the highest protection from the government? Is it A, bay? Is it B, national park? Or is it C, botanical garden? That's right. The answer is B, national park. You can see that we have an adjective national, so you know that it is highly protected by the government. Okay, so now let's continue. So now we're going to review some words related to historical and cultural sites. So look at this slide. We are seeing some of the most common religions in the world. First, we have Buddhism, and the monk live in pagoda. Next one, we got Christianity. Usually, the priest they're gonna live in church. But we have a type of church that is very big and usually a place for bishops to live. We have cathedral. Next one, also a very common religion in the world, Muslim. And where do they pray? Mosque. Very good. Now, moving on to some other religion. So, a place for other religions to pray in general is called temple. So as you can see in this picture, it is Angkor Wat, a very famous temple in the world. And you know what? Time can change things dramatically. One time, this place can be a beautiful palace like this one. But over time, it can become a ruin like this. So no one can predict the time. So now, here is a true or false exercise to check your understanding. You're going to read and decide whether these statements are true or false. A palace is a large and beautiful building where kings and queens live. True or false? A cathedral is a small church in a village. True or false? Mosques and temples are religious places where people go to pray. And D. Ruins are old buildings that are still in perfect condition. Congratulations if you got all the correct answer. So A is true, B false, C true, and D false. So look at B and D. Cathedral, like I have just said, is a really big church that only bishops can live. For small priests, they're gonna live in small church. And ruins are old building, but they are not in perfect condition anymore. The condition has become really bad. Now, let's moving on to the next section, man-made landmarks. So, here we got three different man-made landmarks. The first one is tower. Tower. This is an Eiffel Tower. Next, we got statue. Statue. The Statue of Liberty in the US. And here we got a fountain. Fountain. You can see there's a lot of water here, right? Next one, we got recreational attraction. A place people go to entertain themselves. First one, we got theme park. Theme park. So this is a park where people can play a lot of different games and do a lot of activities. So usually you can play roller coaster here. Next one, water park. Water park. Just like its name, you play a lot of games related to water in this park. So do you realize this play? You get it right. It's Đầm Sen Water Park. Finally, aquarium. Aquarium. So this play keeps a lot of sea animal and they provide an environment for them to live. And we as visitors come here to see how they live. For the final activities of today's lesson, let's learn some English through story. And from the story, you can learn some important adjective to describe places. So here is the story. I had lost myself in the chaos of everyday life. So I packed my bags and set off to travel, to breathe, and to find myself again. My first stop was a historic town full of stories from the past. The streets were atmospheric, with lanterns glowing softly. Every corner has something beautiful, from ancient temple to charming cafe. But soon, I found myself in a busy and crowded city. The markets were packed with people, the streets noisy with honking cars. Some places felt too touristy, filled with overpriced souvenirs. The food those were cheap and delicious. Seeking peace, I traveled far from the city to a remote village. There, I found a spectacular waterfall. The sound of rushing water was soothing. The view seemed impressive. I sat there for hours, feeling peaceful at last. One evening, I watched the sunset over the ocean. The moment was romantic, as if nature itself whispered a love story. But not every place met my expectations. Some places were disappointing, not as magical as I had imagined. Traveling wasn't always easy. Some places were expensive, some were boring, but every step, every place taught me something new. In the end, I found what I was looking for, not in the place, but within myself. Travel didn't just show me the world, it showed me who I am. Here is a multiple choice question to check your understanding. So, tell me, if a tourist attraction is spectacular, it is A. Very dull and uninteresting. B. Extremely impressive and beautiful. Or is it C. Small and difficult to find? Or D. Too expensive for most people to visit? You get it right. It is B. Extremely impressive and beautiful. And that is also the end of our lesson today. Thank you so much. And I hope that you're going to have some really good trips in the future. Bye bye.